I'm Noah Bland alongside my partners Michael and Nate. As today we have our football way too early predictions. First off, to start, I'm going to give my predictions, if that is okay. So I'll just get right to it. I'm going to give my early Super Bowl predictions. I believe that given the Carolina's success rate over the past few years, that they are off and on, that they're going to turn it on again, make the NFC Championship, where they will again lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles will then take over in the Super Bowl, beating the New England Patriots for the second straight time by a score of 41-32. And I'll send it over to you, Michael. Michael, how do you feel about these divisional predictions for the season?
Well, I know everything, it's still way early. Things could still happen. Injuries could still happen. But in the AFC, it's going to be the Patriots again because they're the Patriots. Like, they got no other, like, all the other teams are rebuilding or just, like, not good enough, mediocre. And then, same thing in the North. I think it's just going to be the Steelers running it again. But I have the Raiders bouncing back and the Chiefs falling to a wild card spot. And in the South, I have the Jaguars building on their breakout year, while the Chargers are going to be the other wild card spot because I see them coming up on the rise.
Some bold predictions there by Michael. Let's kick it over back to Nate. Nate, how do you feel about these divisional predictions?
I agree, but I think that even though the Patriots are strong, Tom Brady's getting old, and they're losing some players, I think that the Jaguars defense will take them down in the championships. I think it's going to be Jaguars versus probably the Saints, I think. I think the Saints are strong. Drew Brees is still good. I think that they were good last year. They had one bad game. The Eagles are going to be strong. I think the Saints are going to win it, though.
Now, you both touched on the Jaguars coming back off their breakout year. However, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of question marks when you look at the Jaguars. Obviously, yes, you have Blake Bortles, who did have a tremendous season last year. You have what they call Saxonville, also a big threat in the defensive end position. However, you look at a Jaguars team 2 years ago. I mean, we thought they were not a joke, but we thought they were a team that wasn't so successful. What do you guys think that the Jaguars are doing differently over this year, and how are they going to bounce back on their breakout year?
Well, you mentioned Saxonville. I think over these past couple of years, they got more energy out of their D-line and their secondary with drafting Ramsey. And I think that did a lot for their defense to complement Bortles as he's improved. And they got Robinson out there on offense. I just think that all these pieces have helped the Jaguars become a playoff caliber.
I agree. I think their defense is strong. They're being stronger. They got a lot of energy, a good defense. There's still a missing piece with Blake Bortles. He's only average. I don't think he's good enough to carry them all the way. I think he's still a missing puzzle piece.
So last but not least, we're going to look at some awards. My predictions, I'll start it off once again. I believe for the Rookie of the Year, you obviously have to put Saquon Barkley. Look what he did at Penn State. Barkley creamed. Barkley was a dominant force that would crush through any. You ever hear the term in physics? They say, and break it. What happens when a unmovable object hits an unstoppable force? However, I don't see any unmovable objects in the NFL, but I believe now we do have our unstoppable force in Saquon Barkley. And for MVP, I'm going to have to go with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers should be able to take his team off his injury and exceed coming out of the gate, hopefully bringing over his team to the NFC Championship, or at least the NFC Divisional Round.
For my MVP, I think Rodgers will come back strong. He could put up a good effort for it. And if the Saints have another good year, I think Brees could be out there for the MVP. And obviously, you can't sleep on Brady because he's been a generational Hall of Famer, talent, legend. So, and the Rookie of the Year could probably be Saquon or Baker if he shows crazy amount of talent in Cleveland, which hasn't been shown there for a long time.
I agree. I think Drew Brees he's had great years in the past, and I think honestly the Saints could go all the way this year. They're doing good. I think Brees for MVP. Also, Rodgers and Brady are in the vote too. But I think definitely Saquon. The quarterbacks are looking good. There's a lot of young guys, but I think Saquon's just dominant.
Okay, thank you. This has been live from Sports Broadcasting Camp in Montclair, New Jersey. I'm Noah Bland alongside and Michael.
Go.
Thank you and good night.